All right. So we're here for another Ad Nauseam video and league. War of the Spark is out, so that's super exciting because that means now we have access to Jace. Actually, Ad Naus has a bunch of interesting cards to try from War of the Spark. Aside from Jace, we have the Tamio, which I think is going to be too slow to do anything impactful, but it does tend to play in a kind of interesting space against black-green decks. We also have the Kefnet, which might be interesting in those same types of matchups. And then finally, I do think I want to play around with the engineered explosives land a little bit. Try it out maybe as a one of. We can kind of support one colorless land as we've seen from running Nephalia Academy previously. We might test that out a bit. So right in here I have a kind of strange list. I'm not going to run this one first. I'm going to run something a bit more normal first. It's been a while since I've run a leyline list, so I wanted to get back to doing one of those. Main deck is pretty stock. I'm just making the 1-for-1 swap Lab Maniac to Jace. And the rest of this is fairly standard with maybe the exception of the one of Deputy. I still haven't really felt like I've tested Deputy enough. So we will see. So let's hop in. I'm going to run this league first, and then probably tomorrow I'll run the heavy Jace Labman leveler self mill sideboard plan, and we'll see how that one goes. The third variant I'm going to try likely is going to be maybe a 5-color with Tamio and Bring to Light. That's much more experimental. It might be fun. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know that Glittering Wish has a place in that. Even if we are running Bring to Light, it might be reasonable to just focus more on being. I guess we could run Wargate in that as well. Yeah, Wargate's kind of an interesting card. But Glittering Wish is perhaps a bit slow. It might just be better to have the Bring to Lights in the deck as Ad Naus 5 through 8. Because if you can support the colored mana, then that's exactly what those cards are. And we hit our match. Excellent. Johnny Volta. Simic Shark. We'll take a random guess at Amulet based off the fact that they have Simic Shark as their picture. This hand is great. I have Lotus Blooms, I have a white card, and I have a little bit of digging to find a black card. We never mull this. Sacred Foundry, okay, potentially. Ooh, Sacred Foundry tapped. I was gonna say potentially burn. Although now this has me kind of second guessing that a little bit. What plays Sacred Foundry tapped? Also, do I have time for the second Serum Visions? So next turn I play Serum. If I hit a land, I'm gonna have 1,000,000 mana. I think I do have time for this. Worst case, I can cycle it on my combo turn. That potentially gets diluted if we're forced to. What is this? It's like Naya Druid combo. Interesting. Can't really do anything other than play Serum Visions here. I just have to hope I'm not dead. I could certainly be dead. Okay, so these blooms have 2 turns. So next upkeep, I would prefer to draw Pact over Naus. Then I can Pact. Getting the Pact into my hand right now doesn't actually do anything. I'm still gonna draw it, just so that I have my scry to try and find like a Angel's Grace, but no, I can't. Okay. One thing I do have starting from next turn as well is the ability to Lightning Storm as removal. I just have to hope to not be dead here. That's a promising start. If they had Vizier, I feel like they would have immediately tapped for Vizier. Spellskite is fine. We don't care about Spellskite. We have Jace. Alright, so now I think we're very favored. I'm just gonna play the Unlife. We should be set to win on my next upkeep. We have Pact. None of their cards matter yet. They might try and Chord, but then I can just pack the Chord. Notably, I will find a Grace to play off the Ad Naus to get through my draw step, or I could leave 1 card on the bottom. Yeah, so it's better to just leave 1 card at the bottom. So the I can still win at sorcery. Or no, I'm sorry, I do need to Grace because I need to Grace the Pact. But that's fine. I have a bunch of mana, so there's no problem with winning at sorcery speed in the face of Pact. So they're pretty deep in the tank. Probably thinking about a Chord target if I had to guess. So they're probably thinking that they'll Chord in response to my Nauseam and blow up Unlife. I would not be surprised to see a Chord for 3 when I go to play Nauseam. Or I guess Chord for 4 because there's no reason not to Chord for more. Alright. Okay, so they're doing it here. This is the worst of both worlds. I haven't committed to playing Nauseam yet. And I also don't have to worry about the Pact trigger on my upkeep. So they should have either played that in response to a Nauseam or on their turn. So that if I wanted to defend it, I would have had to Grace on upkeep. I think that's right. There's no reason for them to do it in my upkeep. Alright, so we know Oz. I guess they could have main deck Nature's Claim or something. Who knows? And first game is going to be first win with Jace. Exciting. Did not realize I was in my upkeep, but it doesn't matter. They are pretty dead here. Okay, so against Vizier combo, we want all of our removal. We want probably our Thought Seizes. Don't think we want Leyline of Sanctity. I think I like where we are with this. Pact is actually not that great. I mean, sometimes it'll be good, like if we can specifically Pact a Rexage or something like that, but I feel like on average, Pact's not the greatest. Cut some cantrips. Cut maybe an Unlife. Just another cantrip, something like this. Yeah, you do this. Pact was good there, but I feel like we do kind of want to, ooh, this hand is pretty good. We have 3 lands, we have a Pentad to accelerate us a bit, we're looking for white card. We also have a piece of removal for their comboing. So I'm going to lead on Seachrome here. I should lead on the fast lands as much as possible. City of Brass and Island come into play untapped. So preserving your untapped lands for the turns where you need them to hit your exact amounts of mana to combo, that's pretty relevant. And I'll happily play a Serum. Do I want either of these cards? I definitely don't want Plains. I might actually want Temple. It will put me to 6 mana. And kind of at the rate I'm going here, I'm looking to end up turn 4ing people. This means I can next turn go City of Brass, Thoughtseize, Serum, and then the turn after that I go Temple, Pentad, and then the turn after that I have 6 mana. It does kind of mean that if I end up needing to play this path, I will have to burn a Pentad counter for it. And if I do that, I still want land. Yeah, I think I'll keep one more land here. I'm not 100% sure about that. That could maybe be wrong. We'll see. Okay, so they have a devoted druid. So here I like leading with a Thoughtseize. I'm gonna take a bit of damage, but I think that's okay. Okay, so they are playing this deck because they have Green Sun Zenith. Tireless Tracker I don't really care about. 2 or less, so they're presumably going to be able to... Yeah, I'm going to take Eternal Witness. And then next turn, so they have 2 cards. Next turn they could... Yeah, so I'm just going to hold this path up. Since next turn they could Finale for Vizier. I maybe should have done that in the upkeep, and then they wouldn't even get to play it. Then they just play Tracker instead, and I actually think it's probably not better for me for them to just be playing Tracker. I think. They just, I mean, they can just like get another Vizier or Druid here, yeah, but that's mostly fine. That means I traded a card in my hand to turn their Finale of Devastation into a land, which is fine with me, especially now that I've drawn Slaughter Pact. So I'm going to scry. Don't think I want that. think I will play the Pentad this turn, even though like I'm still kind of a turn away. This serum is not turning out to be that great. I think I was kind of one CMC more than I was going to be able to play no matter what though, but I think I can afford to take it a turn slower. I have an interaction piece, I have the serum here, so scariest thing would probably be blowing up our Pentad. That wouldn't be great. Did they draw another Finale of Devastation? 2? I will pact the Devoted Druid, I guess. Yeah. Just get another Devoted Druid, probably. This is pretty fine, given that like next turn I can just pay the pact, play the island, play Serum Visions, and then try and set up to win the next turn. I do need to find a white card here, though. Like, eventually. Be interesting if they're maybe taking aggro 2-drop instead. Yeah, see. Okay, so they're getting off of the combo plan. Trying to just kill me in a couple swings, which is, I think, reasonable. I mean, they know I have to take a pain here. And then they're going to be able to 5/7 me. So, I mean, with a decent draw, they're dead in 2 turns. It is worth playing the Serum here. Put 1 on the bottom, but we will take the other one. If they were to have, I don't know, Sin Collector or something in their Naya deck, they would very likely take Ad Nauseam. It's worth playing the Serum Visions there, just in case I draw into like a pact or a piece of removal or something that would let me. Actually, maybe it's more likely that they draw into artifact removal, and so I should have bottomed it in favor of looking for lands. I actually think that might have been right. This might have been a mistake. I think it was a mistake to keep the Nauseam there. They very easily could draw into artifact removal here. In which case I'm then a couple turns away. Best draw at that point would probably be like Serum into Unlife and draw a land. But it looks like they didn't draw into anything, so we win. So we'll play Grace. And then we will play Ad Nauseam. I'm going to let the trigger resolve before I cast the Nauseam, although it doesn't matter. Yeah, keeping that Ad Naus on top I think was definitely wrong. I should have looked for more mana in case they blow up Prism. Prism is the weak point in my comboing there. In any case, though, we win 2-0 with a nice match involving new Jace to win game 1. Alright. On to match number 2. Queues are pretty long because it's 1:10 in the morning, probably. But I mean, New War the Spark content. How can I not do a league with it? It's so exciting. I might even go play the pre-release just because there's like so many different cards I'm going to be looking for. Usually I don't even bother with pre-releases anymore, but this time I might. I think the next, yeah, I'm not going to be playing SCG Louisville. That's too much of a hike. I think the next big thing I'm going to end up playing is the SCG Envy. But then I think a couple weeks after that, there's SCG Pittsburgh, and I'm pretty excited to be running a triple Ad Naus team for that. So that should be a really fun time. Again with the truly monstrous queue times. But sometimes that's just how it is. So what else? Trying to think about other maybe general Ad Naus concepts to talk about. Electro Dominance has kind of been floated around as a card to maybe try out, especially in conjunction with Jace. I don't necessarily think that it makes, like, Jace is generally not a strain on our blue mana, and that might seem really weird given that it costs 3 blue, but in any situation where you were able to cast, okay, I don't want to say any situation, in any reasonable situation, I'll highlight the one exception in a second, in any reasonable situation where you were able to cast Lab Maniac and then draw a card with Serum Visions, you will be able to cast Jace. The one exception is maybe if you've like exiled too many Pentad Prisms to spoils, because it will require potentially 2 Pentad Prisms instead of just 1. This hand is really slow. Kind of doesn't do anything, and the filtering is bad. And this is a grace and not an unlife. I think this is a mulligan. This could go wrong, but I think it's quite a bit better. I'm going to ship one of the pacts. I think it's more likely that we face an aggressive deck than a controlling deck, which is going to make the second white card better than the second pact. I just need to find mana at this point. So we'll bottom that, we'll top this City of Brass. This could still be like Phoenix with a hand where they're going to Thought Scour on end step. I'm hoping that by playing the Plains instead of the City of Brass, maybe I'm showing as like Cheerios or something else that would play Seachrome into Serum. No cantrip on the end step is making this, yeah, more likely to be blue-white and not Phoenix. So I mean, we're gonna get a little bit punished for not keeping the. Oh, okay. So we draw another pact. So that's if it wasn't gonna be mana, that's the best thing we could draw other than mana. Now I just need to hit some land drops, and I think because we have these 2 pacts, we could end up being in a very favorable position here. Additionally, I have Pact Grace to buy time if needed. Okay, that's fine. They might end up trying to field us. It's unfortunate because had this been in untapped land, we could have just killed them outright in response to the field. But now we need to draw specifically a black source, actually. If they try to like Jace here or something, I think I will Pact Grace it. And we don't have a swamp, so field on our city here would actually be pretty annoying. It means we kind of need to hit like Pentad Prism. We'll see if they go for it. Because we can't combo, it's not worth floating mana there at the cost of the point of life, I don't think. Just for the bluff. And I mean, we draw one black source, so we're just looking for black mana at this point. Sure, you can opt. Yep, another opt, that's fine. So I mean, let's count. We have one more gemstone, 2 cities, 2 more Darkslick Shores, 4 Temple of Deceit, 9, 4 Pentad Prism, 13. I think 13 hits. Lotus Bloom wouldn't even be disastrously bad, although it'd be kind of bad. I'll pact this. Let's see, what are they gonna do? Negate, mana leak. They're just fetching a tapped land. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really affect our clock if we draw a black source. It could if we draw like Pentad Prism. I am gonna play it with Grace here, just to. Okay, so I mean we draw a Pentad Prism and then Pentad Prism potentially messes us up. Oh, they have Spell Snare. That's fine. Just play it on life, see if they counter it. We get a Cryptic and on life. Be my guest. Please. That's fine. That's certainly wrong. I mean, maybe now they get to like tap down for a Teferi or something. I could see some merit in it. If they're gonna pass, I think it's unquestionably wrong. Let's see what they do. So I think they're gonna Surgical Phyrexian on life. Not Angel's Grace. They're insane. I mean, they know I have one, but they're still insane. On their main phase, they're Surgicaling. So, I mean, my best draw here. I think I just let this happen. My best draw here is probably Ad Naus. So then I can end step Ad Naus and then like untap Ad Naus. I guess Pact would also be very good. I mean, we could try and force the issue here, but I think the chances that they have like 2 counter spells are very high. If they go for like Snap Surgical on Angel's Grace, then I will attempt to force the issue. I'd like to be able to like draw a little bit more mana so that I could beat a like a mana leak, and if I could beat a mana leak and then have like Pact for a Cryptic, then I would be more likely to go for it, although they could certainly just have like Logic Knot. It's probably incorrect for them to take the Surgical or to take the Unlifes out of my deck. Yeah, I'll play a Serum. I still have 6 mana between. Okay. I'll keep that. I can just threaten, and continue to threaten, and then just kind of develop. Eventually they have to tap down. Or, well, no, they don't have to tap down, but eventually, like, I should be able to force something through. I'm going to play a Slight. I'll take an Ad Naus. Okay, so here, I'll float a black. Do I fully go for it? Or do I just play an Ad Naus? I think I kind of like just playing the Ad Naus. So I'll let that happen. The field goes off. Don't have a 4th basic, which is kind of annoying. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just a little bit short. I can't Spoils for Pentad. Spoils for Pentad doesn't quite work. I mean, I guess maybe it could, but I want this. I think the chances that they draw their 4th Field of Ruin are really low. Okay, that's a very good draw. So now I can end step Naus, untap Naus, defend it with Pact Spoils. I still have 1 more Pact in my deck, so this could actually get a little dicey, but scariest thing would probably be like, oh no, I can't actually defend it with Spoils because I don't have enough black sources. I think we're still doing this here. Snap. No, this reads like Logic Knot. This is 4. That's okay. Now here, I can Grace Naus and beat Cryptic. I think we're gonna try it. We're not actually super favored here. I don't love this spot, but I don't think we're gonna stand to improve by waiting. We have Cryptic. Impact the Cryptic. We have another Cryptic. 4th Cryptic. That'd be unfortunate. Okay, they're cycling. That's a good sign. Cycling again, still a good sign. Come on, no top deck counterspell. Yes. All right. I think we get there. I should count this because I didn't really count this. I didn't play a land this turn, so I should just be okay. Yeah, I'm fine. So exile Simeon. Exile Simeon. Exile Simeon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. So I have enough to lightning storm them with plenty left over. Is it safer to Jace though? Well, no, they could have like double spells. What are the chances they have double spell snare though? The chances that they have 5 lands is basically 0. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So always yes, always yield. So we're aiming to do 15 to them. So they'll discard to point it back to us. I can discard to point back to them. I have enough lands to do this ad nauseam if we like our puns. Alright. That was actually a pretty tough game against Control. I was just kind of sitting there for a while. I really missed not having a basic swamp off Field of Ruin. I feel like that's a bit of an irregularity though. I could bring in like the Gear Hulk or a Godhead just as like a way to have some idiot to attack with. I don't know that that's necessary though. Pentad a little bit worse. Unlife a little bit worse. And we can shave like, is Unlife really a little bit worse? No, I don't think it is. It's pretty important to just have our combo pieces. Do I want Truth? I could think about Truth for like a D-Sphere or something, but I mean, Pentad I'm cutting because I could have Stony. I hate cutting mana though. I wouldn't really ever cut more than like one piece of mana if I could help it. The one of Grand Abolisher is actually an attempt at tech for Word that has some overlap. Turning off like EEs and stuff means I can play a like I can combo I can kind of combo without too much fear. This hand is pretty decent. I'll lead on Temple, and it's definitely a card we want. Depending on what they do, if they hold up mana or don't, that'll kind of dictate whether I play this Pentad Prism. Since they're just holding up mana, I think I'm just gonna play my cantrips. Try and make them be inefficient about their mana usage. If they want to like counter a cantrip, be my guest. Notably, I should have played. No, I maybe shouldn't have. I will take both of these. Oh, I didn't even realize I drew Lotus Bloom. They're cycling on my main. Sure. Lotus Bloom's actually a pretty decent draw. They're using their Field of Ruin now. I mean, it does get rid of my Scries, but it's fine because I just have the ability to play Pentad Prism now. If they have Snare, that would be annoying. Yeah, but okay, they didn't, so that's good. Snare is terrible against Ad Naus, so you should probably board it out even if like you're expecting Pentad Prisms. It's very, very bad in matchup. There's no reason to play this on life. I have Bloom coming off next turn. So I can actually end step Ad Naus. And then when they counter that, I'll have 6 mana to Grace Ad Naus on my turn. I think it's better to just pass here. Although I could have resolved the Ad Naus, I think it's important enough to actually tap them out. Worst thing that they could probably have would be Surgical, but I mean, I still have Pact. Okay, they have Dispel. It's fine. They're negating my Bloom. That's interesting. Do I counter that? Or do I not? Maybe I should have just resolved the Value Naus in response to the Illumination. I think I packed this and then go for the Naus. And if they have triple counterspell, I mean, be my guest. If it's Mana Leak, we're sort of okay. It's Logic not. What is Logic not targeting? Logic not targeting Pact of Negation. Okay. Well, no, I cannot. Second on life is a really bad draw there. I need mana now. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I should have just resolved that Ad Naus when I had the chance. The ability to just like draw more. I'm just gonna like play this. I mean, maybe they can Distension Sphere both, but Simeon not terrible. They might think like we can't combo or something in a situation where we will be able to. We could definitely, not even we could, we aren't in a good spot here. I'll hold the third on life. If the second one didn't earn a counter, the third one definitely will not earn a counter. Well, they're Snapcaster opting. Alright, they're just getting a clock down. Sure, that's fine. I read this as they are light on counter magic. However, I really, really need mana. Teferi? Jace? What's wanting so much mana? Teferi? Oh, it's Colonnade activation. Oh, they're a madman. I'm strongly considering just going for it here. If they fetch, I think I will. Because now it can't be cryptic. Let these triggers resolve. And then go for it. You only have one mana, my friend. Snap Opt is not gonna do it. So I've only burned one red Simeon. They should just be dead to Lightning Storm here. We're really showcasing the instant speed power of Ad Naus. Killing in response to a fetch is nice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Always yes. Always yield. Are they going to discard a land? Of course they are. They should know it doesn't matter. But they will anyway. Alright, sweet. So we picked up a nice win over blue-white. In actually some pretty close matches. I don't want to really call those easy. Those were kind of tricky, and I do think I should have. I misplayed a little bit. I should have played the value Ad Naus in response to the hieroglyphic on my end step. And that way I would have just seen enough cards that I maybe would have had another pact, or I would have had land Thoughtseize, so I could have just forced through the second Naus more easily. But in the end, it seems to have worked out. Although that is usually poor reasoning to like, don't let it worked out in the end or it didn't work out in the end. Justify or inform whether or not something was a good play or not. Something is a good play or not on its own in a vacuum using only the information that you have at that point in time. The result doesn't matter. This is one of those reasons why, like, when you mulligan, you should never look at the top card of your deck to see if you would have gotten there. The decision is either correct or incorrect with the information you have. And if you look at the top card, it's only going to maybe trick you into making poor decisions in the future. Okay, so I should talk a little bit about this keep. I mean, I have acceleration, I have white card, black card, I just need land. This is interesting. Do I take a Lotus Bloom? And if so, do I also take this Pact of Negation? This means next turn, I could draw Bloom, suspend Bloom, play Serum, draw into Pact, and it's kind of like I'm on the draw. That's basically what this is. It means I'm on the draw. I think I'm okay with being on the draw. And I think I'm likely enough to find more land off this Serum that I think I will take the Pact as well. I feel like this looks really weird. If they're like, for example, something like Phoenix and they just thought Scour us, though, I'm okay with that as well. Okay, so I don't need a second Naus. I will take another Simian, though. Next turn, I think there's actually reasonably strong consideration just playing the Unlife with 2 Simians. Okay. So they're playing, I would guess, Phoenix or Burn. Something that has very bad Ad Naus match, and they want to bluff us into what deck they are. That's my read on that. Or they like... Yeah, that's my read on that. So against Burn, having extra Pact of Negations, not disastrous. Against Phoenix, I want that. Phoenix or Burn. Given the fact that they like tried to look like a blue-red deck, I actually feel like they're on Burn. There's really no sideboarding to be done versus Burn. Turn it back. I'll bring in the Echoing Truth as like a minor hedge. Although Burn wouldn't... I think Burn would try to make a game out of that, considering they know my Lotus Bloom is a turn late. What else could they be? I'm not sure. I don't really like this hand. It's just mana. Not much looking, and it doesn't do anything. This hand is like the same hand, but I'm going to be on 6 already. I at least have 2 Scrylines versus 1. I don't like this, but I will keep it. Ditch Simian. Okay, that's probably best possible draw. Definitely don't want more mana. Is it just Phoenix who like got unlucky and kept a hand where they needed to draw their second land and then they didn't, so then they tilt conceded? That's kind of what this feels like now. Could also be like control of some flavor. Like Blue Moon, maybe? We can do Mana Leak this. Mana Leak this and then play a Blood Moon. Negate it, remand it. Logic not. Okay, so Jeskai. Or Blue Moon. I guess they just like kept a one-lander and then couldn't do anything. That's my read on this now. No, I played the temple before I saw that I had the spoils. If I didn't, I should have Echoing Truth. I don't think I care about that. They could have Blood Moon, but... And I will play the Bloom here, just like in case my mana gets attacked and I get Blood Mooned. There's some chance that like the game goes to the point where I need that extra colored source to be coming in. Best thing for me would be if they like tried to play a Jace there. Okay, so we'll play a Slight. Best thing would be either Pact or White card. Okay, Grixis Control. Interesting. If they try and like blow up a Bloom or something, I'm so going in on casting cards. The question is only, do I just value Naus, or do I spoils for Grace and then Grace Naus? It would have to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6. It would have to be Dispel or Spell Pierce. I think based on the fact that they did this in response to the sleight of hand, it means that they think I'm fishing. Being said, is my position good enough that I can like just afford to? I think I'm gonna spoils. I could also think about spoiling for Pact and then being guaranteed to resolve a value Naus. I think that's just worse though. guess I do also need to think about the fact that they're tanking, whether that changes anything. I'm inclined to say no. I tend to not put too much stock in how an opponent is playing, just because there's like so many different things that could go into this. It's really hard to conclude why they're tanking. Like maybe their doorbell rang, or maybe their kid is crying, or maybe they are trying to look like they're tanking, or maybe they're actually tanking. I think it's usually just better to put very little stock in it. If you try and read too much into stuff like that, you're only gonna like psych yourself out. And the fact that I just tanked, maybe they like tabbed out to go look at something else. There's way too many possibilities here to like read into they have a counterspell and they're deciding if they're trying to use it. If they should use it. So we're gonna call what I'm gonna read as a bluff. Alright, we didn't really exile too much of relevance. Play Grace. Play Naus. Do you have the Dispel? Okay, you do. I'll take Island here. And just play it. I mean, oh no, I forgot that I had this next bloom. I shouldn't have taken Island. I should have taken Slight. That was wrong. That was bad. I was kind of already accepting defeat to the discard spell, but kicked Burst Lightning. That shouldn't be in your deck. On the plus side, we blanked Kolaghan's command. This is not great. Definitely not great. Are they going to Kolaghan's command me again, or snap Kolaghan's command? That's how I read this. Alright, I'm just going to hold this, because maybe they'll like snap Kolaghan's command it. I guess they could destroy artifact discard, and then I'd still be a card away. But I mean, not if I draw like Unlife, and Unlife is probably my best draw at this point, because I need a white card. I need a white card that's not going to get interrupted. Yeah, this is fine. So we're kind of just top decking here. Although, I mean, we're on not the fastest clock, but not an insignificant clock. Best draw again is Unlife. They have another Kolaghan's command. Oh, click, sure. They should let me keep this. That was wrong. Well, should they? It's a random draw versus a random draw and a scry, but with the chance that if they draw me into another draw, I like get to go one deeper. I'm not so sure about that. Best draw on life. Okay. So that's step one. Sure. I have Grace, and I can try and replay the Unlife. If I get Burst Lightning here, I'll be a little annoyed. Do I have more counter magic? Drew Cryptic. Okay, I'll do it. Alright, so Grixis Control we'll bring in. Grand Abolisher is a little bit worse, but like still fine. Echoing Truth not necessary. Thoughtseize is very good. Leyline of Sanctity worth thinking about. I don't really know if they play like Thoughtseizes and stuff. I mean, I guess they could not. It could be anything. I think I'm not going to bring in the Abolisher. I think we're just gonna do it like this. Just try and force something through. I mean, we have a little bit of mana. We have some pacts. I'll keep it. This is kind of loose. I'm going to just lead on Temple and then play Shore's Pentad. Am I? Actually, there could be some merit to leading on Serum. I need to hit more land anyway. This better facilitates that. I think I may actually do that instead. Ad Naus is a good draw. I'm gonna bottom this Pentad but top the Temple. I could have thought about that Pentad. It's just like I don't really have any white card, so if they were Slight in your control deck, all right. If they were to like blow up my Pentad, they're surgically my Serum Visions. They're insane. They're insane. I always get like happy when this happens because this does not matter. Maybe they think they're screwing up my scry, but like this doesn't matter. They've just like thrown away a card. So now I'm just gonna like draw mana or white cards. It's like fine. They're taking a million years to resolve this as well, which is interesting. Is this match 3? I think this is match 3, right? Yeah. What are they? So just taking notes. Noting that I brought in a couple Thoughtseize. What are you doing? Alright, so Temple next turn. I need a land, but I also need white card. Preferably, actually, Grace. A double pact, like, potentially lets me force a spell. Triple pact. This is too many pact. I don't need this many pact. I will take that because I do need the third land. And then next turn I can go Pentad Scryland, and I'm just looking for white card at that point. And then once I do find white card, I will force this combo through with these pacts. Scariest thing actually would be like counter magic on Pentad Prism or something, where I can't really afford to defend it with Pact. So to that end, I should play the Temple of Enlightenment before I play the Pentad Prism, so I know if I'm going to be drawing it, like an Angel's Grace, for example. I think I will bottom that, and I can't afford to defend this with counter magic. Maybe. Unclear. Now they might just like try to Kolaghan's Command this. It's an option that they have. We'll see. I would just like Angel's Grace off the top one time. If they do go like main phase Kolaghan's Command, I could think about Pact, and then on my upkeep, Simian Nauseam, leaving open a white so that I can draw into a white in order to what's the word? Play the Grace. So I mean that's an option. They know I have Pact Simian Naus. The only card they don't know is the 5th or the 3rd Pact. The more I think about it, the more I think I will likely Pact value Naus Grace if they try to blow up this Pentad. They're certainly thinking about whether they should blow up this Pentad. I know I said you can't read in before to what they're doing sometimes when they're just like tanking, because it could literally be anything, but it feels very much like that's what they're doing. Notably, if I do value Naus, I really, really need to be setting myself up to like win the next turn, because I'm certainly going to be like facing snap surgicals and stuff, in which case I'm going to have to defend my Naus in the graveyard with my pacts. I should be okay to do that though, because I'll get to play a land. Then I'll have 4 lands plus this. Oh no, I won't have the Simian because I'll have to have burned the Simian. I'll need to like draw another Simian, but that doesn't work. I need to like hit multiple Graces and then play an Unlife or get 2 land drops in. That could get dicey. It actually could get dicey. And I guess I could also like hit a Thoughtseize and then Thoughtseize away whatever they're about to do with my land drop plus the Thoughtseize. That probably would be best. Alright, any year now, opponent. Olavu Juice MTM. They're going for it. I think I will Pact. Just draw a pile of cards and like force it through in the next turn or two. This is better than like sitting here trying to draw mana. So I do need to see like multiple graces really so that I can enable defensive usage of these pacts. And obviously I need to see one grace to live. So I need to flip until I hit a grace, bare minimum. Thoughtseize is good. Spoils. This is starting to get bad. Come on, grace. That's unfortunate. Alright. Guess I'm dead. Four graces. Need to hit a grace. Flip 3 on lives and a simian. If I let that happen though, like I discard a pact, I'm just sitting there with like pact Naus. I'm doing basically nothing for like multiple turns. I don't like that position. I feel like forcing the issue there has to be better. I'm like very likely to hit a grace there. If I do hit a grace, I think I'm in a reasonably good position, especially if, because like, yeah, I can land Thoughtseize if I hit a Thoughtseize, take whatever their most relevant thing is, and then the next turn I have, on life, I can like spoils for a grace there if I need to like use pacts defensively, or I just have a ton of options. Well, like if I draw a bunch of spoils, I can like spoils for Jace and then play Jace. Lots of options, but they necessitated drawing a grace. Alternately, I could have just paid the pact, but that would have been equivalent to letting the Kolaghan's Command resolve, discarding a pact, and then just voluntarily tapping my 3 lands on my upkeep. So paying the pact was terrible there. If I pacted the command, the line is unquestionably playing Ad Naus. The only argument there that could have been had is not pacting the command. I feel like that shouldn't be that bad of a matchup in general. It should be a fine matchup. Command like sometimes does things, but other times it encourages them to tap out and then they die in response. Like game 2, if they don't have exactly Dispel there, or they could have Spell Pierce also, they're dead. And like, I mean, maybe like it's hard there also. It was hard there also in game 2 to put a read on them having Dispel, because that was the first turn they could have used the command because the blooms are coming off suspend right there. This hand doesn't really do anything, so I'm gonna mulligan it. This hand's a lot better. I'm gonna bottom a Seachrome Coast. This way I can lead turn 1 with Slight, turn 2 I have the Temple to play, turn 3 I can play the on life. alternately, if I like see something else I need, some other way I need to be spending my mana, I can afford to do so. Best thing to hit probably would be Bloom off my turn 1 Slight. Other decent options include like Pentad Prism, more lands, or Serum Visions. Or like matchup dependent. If it's a deck where I need counters, then a Pact. If it's a deck where I need to stall, then more white cards. I mean, specifically Graces would be not horrendous. I don't know why every opponent is taking 8 million years to make a play. You're taking a full minute on your turn 0. Does he like think it's my turn and hasn't realized to click through upkeep? Presumably. I'm not quite sure what else could be happening here. Well, that's pretty bad. My one consolation is it's not taking Nauseam, but it's likely taking on life. Pact is a horrendous draw here. Pact is close to irrelevant in this matchup. Bloom is the best possible thing I could hit off of that Slight, probably. I need to have a fighting chance of being able to cast this Ad Nauseam with low resources, and this is the only way I could do so. So now what I need is for them to not have a Thoughtseize. If they don't have Thoughtseize, I at least get to have the chance of top decking a white card. Inquisition's like fine, because if they take Pact, it's like whatever. Ideally, I'm going to end up top decking a Grace, and then I'll be comboing in a way that is invulnerable to like Assassin's Trophy or Abrupt Decay. Best thing, just like play a Goyf. Bob. Alright, sure. It's like a little more scary than a Goyf, but not that much more scary. I will take that. I will not suspend this. If they are to play a Lily, the card is going to matter, I think. Like, I get one window here. My window is next turn on end step, I spoils for Grace, and then on my turn I have Grace Naus. That's the only window I get. I don't get the time to mess around with like second chances off of a second bloom or something. So just holding this as Lily fodder is necessary. Because if they go like land Lily here, then I can discard the bloom, draw the Grace, play the plains, discard the Pact, and then have exactly the cards I need to go off. Okay, Goyf is like kind of scary actually. Just because like I'm going to need to spoils. Which is gonna be scary into a Goyf. Trophy's irrelevant. Sure, you get your Lily. I have to discard. Well, actually, no. What do we have? We have enchantment, sorcery. The pact isn't relevant here, and it's much more likely that they discard an instant than they discard an artifact. In which case, it's one less point of damage from the Goyf, which might be the difference for spoils. So I actually should discard pact here. Okay, it didn't matter either way because I had to discard a unique card type. I actually forgot that they didn't play a land yet, though. So I should have discarded Bloom, because they could have had like another discard spell there. In which case I would have needed to pact it. So, I mean, I'm going to let them attack first. If I spoils and then find it lower down, I can't afford to, Joel's Grace. I can't afford to waste the spoils defensively. I don't think. I guess I could like draw into a second spoils or a second grace exactly there. Maybe it was right to do that. Well, we exiled 2 Simian Spirit Guides anyway. Actually, we could have won had this been 1 card higher, but it wasn't. So let's say I do that first, and then spoils defensively, and then I have to top deck exactly Grace. Yeah, maybe it was better to spoils first. Gives me a slight increased chance. Okay. So against black green, I hate Leyline against black green, but I'm trying it. We'll see. It just feels like it never does anything. You just like slowly die to a lily or something. Godhead of Awe. I mean, it's like a card you can bring in. It's not particularly great. Pact of Negations. Shave 2 might be relevant to keep the 3rd to counter an Assassin's Trophy on like Jace or whatever. Got some slights. Serum is better than Slight in this matchup, specifically because like the safest place to put cards is on the top of your deck. I could also like bring in Thoughtseize. I'm not going to, but I could. This is certainly a mulligan. This is bad, but I will keep it. I mean, I have Leyline. I can like just temple up, playing on life. Try to find a Naus, I guess. Die when my on life gets blown up by trophy. That's how this is gonna go. Jace, you will have the opportunity to get put onto the battlefield and die to a Tarmogoyf attack. Good stuff. Again, opponent is taking millions of years to take their turn. Maybe everyone playing at night, it just takes forever. I don't really know. Oh, maybe it's Pro Tour people who are like playing at 2:30 a.m. before the Pro Tour. I guess it's not 2:30 a.m. in London. I don't know. But they wouldn't be playing with the new Spark cards though. I want to get the Japanese chases. That'll be interesting. Like it'd be useless of them to test with the Spark cards. So I don't really know who is playing right now that is taking 18 million years, but we will see. Looks like we're gonna lose this one fast though. You know. So let's think. Other potentially interesting Spark cards. I know people were talking a little bit about the thing that like copies a spell. Don't need the second Leyline. Ooh, Mull to 5. Now they're faced with like an interesting decision of like how much discard do they keep? Do they keep all of the discard? Do they keep some discard? Do they keep no discard? Are they looking for discard? Maybe they're an idiot and mulling to their own ley line. They're not. That'd be really dumb. But like, I don't know. I feel like here's the problem I have with Leyline. I feel like Leyline does not make you win this matchup, even when you have it. It's just like a card that will sometimes let you steal a game. And for what has to be a 4 of in the sideboard, sometimes letting you steal a game is really not that big of an impact. This is why I tend to like mess around a lot with non-leyline sideboards. I just hate leyline. And like bringing it in discard heavy matchups is kind of the antithesis of how you want to be playing discard heavy matchups as a combo deck, where like you just want to rip your combo off the top and then win. So like increasing your threat density, leyline decreases your threat density by adding dead cards to your deck. So it kind of works against how combo decks inherently have to play against discard decks. A lot of these patterns can be very noticeable in like Legacy Storm, especially like in the Mirror or against Black Red Reanimator, where a common line of play is to like play out your mana rocks, and then your hands get shredded, and then you just like sit there, and eventually you rip an Inferno Tutor and you win. Alright, we'll play a land. Playing the black land first, just like in case I, for example, get a spoils and then need to like spoils with off the scry. There's no one CMC white card that I'm going to be playing on turn 2. I didn't bring in like path. That's a draw. That's pretty good. So now I just need to like not get choked out by a lily under this ley line and like never quite hit the number of lands I need to cast Ad Nauseam. Which, I mean, that's a real possibility. That's a thing that happens sometimes. You just like sit here behind a ley line and then slowly die. But like maybe their hand is all discard and then they don't have Lily. In which case, okay. But I mean, also I'm kind of reliant on the Phyrexian Unlife here. But maybe they'll ramp me off the Unlife with a trophy. So who knows? Lots and lots and lots of options. If they were to just straight up trophy my Unlife on turn 2, I think or trophy my Leyline, I think instead of playing out Unlife, I would just play Jace. Because I'd get Jace down into an empty board and get to draw at least 2 cards. Maybe more if they can't like immediately kill it. I guess not draw 2 cards. They could have another trophy or like a Maelstrom Pulse, but they are still taking approximately 8 million years here. I'm going to play this in case I draw like a fast land and then want to play the Unlife next turn. I'll keep a Pentad. This means next turn I Pentad, the turn after that I play Unlife, the turn after that I have a line that maybe lets me win. Oh no, I can't actually play the Jace if they trophy the Leyline here. Because I have a tapped land. So I'd have to play the Unlife. And then if I were to play a Lily, then I would discard the Jace and hope to top deck for the Naus. Or I could discard whatever I draw next turn if it's not It wouldn't be the Pentad because I would have to shuffle off the trophy. I don't understand why this person is so slow at taking their turns. It's actually glacial. They should play blue-white control. That way they would have a glacial fortress to hide within. Maybe they did at one point, and then they got too many draws, so they stopped. That's the nice thing about playing combo decks. You just like basically never draw. It's like really rare to draw. Even if you're like, so I had a game on at like a Tuesday Modern, just like a local, that I was playing Jeskai Ascendancy, like the Glittering Wish version, like the very all-in combo-y version. Like we went to turns. I went to turns against Burn because you know that combo takes quite a while to execute. And then it was like a solid several minutes of turns where I'm just like comboing slowly, before eventually winning. Do I want another land? It's actually hard. I think no. I think they will likely blow up the ley line before the Pentad if they can blow something up. Sure, they revealed a Bob to Bob. They're just going all in on Bobs. Lily? Finks, that's irrelevant. Okay. It's great to see a Finks. Grace is decent. It makes my best draw for next turn some sort of mana. Like an untapped land or a Simian Spirit Guide would be the best thing I could draw. Because that way I'm insulated against, are they going to just field me? Oh no, they're playing a Bob. What did they flip to their Bob? Overgrown Tomb. Okay. They have all the Bobs. Alright. They're drawing 4 cards a turn. But it doesn't matter because they're dead. Okay, good. So if I'm on the draw, does anything here change? Thoughtseize maybe gets slightly better because I can take a Lily. But I think I still am just gonna run it back. Maybe a little timeout because they're playing so glacially slow. Notably, having the Jace in hand there was kind of useless, but the Laboratory Maniac would have been equally useless. One thing Jace doesn't do is chump. Sometimes the ability of Laboratory Maniac to chump is in fact relevant, but not that often. I actually can't wait to try out the Mass Lab Maniacs list. His hand doesn't do that much. They mulligans to 6. I'm going to mulligan as well. I mean, this has a Naus. I'm going to keep this and feel bad about it. Bottom the lightning storm. Feel bad about it when they take my Ad Naus. This is like exactly the reason why I hate Leyline. Like I can't really mull this hand. But like I hate Leyline so much. I'm gonna keep both of these. What did they mull to? Did they mull to just 6 or did they go to 5? They went to 5. Okay, so maybe we have a chance. Ha! Ha! Can't Inquisition me, you fool. So here, since I already know my top card, I'm actually not going to play a Temple. This game is going to take a while, and like if I play tapped lands as lands 3 and 4, then I have an untapped land for 5. So here we'll scry. Definitely do not want that. Next turn, I have to think about spoils for Simeon on the end step so that I could Simeon Grace Naus. Or I could just like hard cast the Leyline this turn. That's another option. It'll depend on what they do. Spells for Simeon is fairly safe, but it's not guaranteed to be. Surgical extraction, sure, you can surgical my serum. I'd be scared if they like Thoughtseize surgical me though. Oh no, now we're in trouble. You're gonna take Naus. There's no way I can defend this with spoils. I just need to be on like the Jace spoils plan now. Which means my best draw is on life, I think. Which means I will be playing the Leyline this turn. Will I now that I drew Pentad? I think still yes. Next turn I can just like, next turn I can just like play Pentad Temple or something. I'm looking for Jace. Come on, Jace. And again, perfect example of why Leyline of Sanctity is trash. It just doesn't, like, I have to keep that 6, I can't mull past that 6, and it's just dead cards in your deck that do nothing. It's so bad. It's so bad. Sure, hit us for 5. What did they draw? They drew Verdant. Okay, so they played the Verdant. So I already know about that. So some of the best things I could be hitting here would be another spoils. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, actually, another spoils or naturally Jace would be my best possible draws. What'd they flip? They flipped Hissing Quagmire. Okay. I probably have 2 turns, but not. No, that's not looking like 2 turns. Wait, no, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm taking 2 here. Next turn I'm taking 7. They can't pump this up. I should still get another turn if I don't top deck what I need here. Although that could be them holding up trophy, which is maybe a little scary. Spoils or Jace. I have enough mana that will count as, like, I have 8 mana, I need 7 if I were to draw spoils, so Slight giving me 2 looks is fine to keep there. I have the time and space for it. If they play Lily, I discard Grace. If they hold up mana, that's terrifying. Because it means Jace is not likely to live. Don't think I want that. I might need it because if they were like go big on an attack on me, actually wait. So if I spoils for Jace here, I still can't afford to play it because like it just dies on the attack, and I can't try to spoils into. Yeah, there's nothing I can spoils for here. I could spoils for Godhead. Does that do anything? I have the one Godhead in my deck, right? I do. They have a Brutality. Maybe I should have done this last turn. Could I have done this last turn? Oh no, because I played the Unlife last turn, right? Yeah. Now is the first turn I can conceivably do this. This is going to feel terrible when they just like trophy my Unlife. But like, am I beating trophy at this point? No, because next turn I have to... Yeah, next turn I have to be able to draw either Spoils or Jace, and if I draw either of those to combo with emptying my deck, then I'm just dead to a trophy anyway. So as bad as this is gonna feel, I think this is like I can't beat trophy from here. I know they have brutality. I have to just try to make something happen off of this. They're trophying in response. I mean, you should have let me kill myself. Do I, like... Is there anything I can do here? Now I have to spoils for Grace, I think. I think I have to spoils for Grace. I could Grace now, but like what is that letting me do? There's nothing that wins the game on the spot. Actually, maybe I still Spoils for Godhead and just have to hope to not die. That might be better. And I can like top deck a top deck like running on light or running Graces and on lives. Is that higher percentage than yeah? All of these lines, I'm talking about these lines like they matter. All of them are extremely low percentage. We're almost certainly dead here. But you know, we'll play to our outs until the last possible second. This is going to end badly, though. Also, why are they taking so long? Maybe they'll time out. Maybe that's the line. Have them time out because they're a glacier. No, I can't do that reasonably. No, my line is to just go for Godhead, I think. It's the play to win rather than play to not lose. Like, if playing to... Supposing for Unlife, like, maybe buys me an extra turn. Yeah, nope, okay. I just needed Godhead to be in like the top 2 cards or something. When I can like Grace and start drawing running white cards, but it didn't happen. I wouldn't have expected it to happen. Once they trophied the Unlife, we're basically dead there. They should have done it after I Spoils, though. Like after the Spoils resolves. Because like I can't afford to Spoils for Pact. What am I getting? I guess another possible line there, as dumb as it was play the Grayson response, Spoils for Jace, and hope Jace is exactly in the bottom 3 or 4 cards of my library. I actually think that might have been higher percentage. I should have done that. That was a better line. Jace. What a card. Alright, am I on the play or the draw? I'm on the play. So the way I'm looking at this hand is it's almost like a hand where I'm on the draw with one less card, in which case this would be okay. Because I'm going to play the Temple turn 1, and then I need to like slight into mana or a Lotus Bloom, in which case it's not the end of the world. So this looks a little loose maybe, but like I just need to find mana, and then I can maybe get there. I think it's not terrible. Yep, land is what we want. Alright, Island Aether Vial, so probably Merfolk, but maybe also like spirits. Slight first in case I want to like play a temple. I think I do want to play a temple. Don't think I need the spoils. Just looking to hit land drops. Okay, so looking like blue-white spirits, not merfolk. I should have played the slight after the land. That was a mistake. I will take the Pentad happily. And threaten to win next turn, though. Chains, yeah, that's fine. So we're going to get in under Vile Queller. Not that, well, yeah, it's going to be relevant. Potentially. Literally, they can't flesh in Mausoleum Wanderer. The only thing they can do here is like hold up Queller, in which case they die to Pact. I think we're just on a lock here. really know what they could have. I mean, if they've like Violent Athalia, they don't have a priority window anymore now. They could have, but they didn't, so now I think they can't and have it be relevant because I can just like pay for the Lightning Storm. I guess to that end, I'm going to play the, no, because I can just remove mana in response. I should leave one counter on the Prism. Okay, I have 4 mana to play Lightning Storm into, yeah, okay. Alright, so Thoughtseize, Slaughter Pact, good. Truth, fine. Path, Grand Abolisher, good. Deputy of Detention, good. Cards I don't want. Spirits is a Stony Silence deck, but even then, it feels bad to cut too much mana. Cut Slights. Cut maybe, well, Pact is like actually not great. I'll cut 1. Cut like be on life. And then another Slight. And then maybe another Pact actually. Pact is like pretty bad. Is it? Yeah, it actually kind of is. Yeah, this is fine. We mulled to 6, that's a good start for us. Vial. Maybe it's Bant, and then but Bant I don't think plays Island, so seems a little less likely. I'm gonna play the Serum first to maybe make them think we drew into one of these blooms. I don't want either of these cards. Path is pretty good. Gives us an answer to like Athalia or something. Also Wander. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to give them a land if I can help it though, given that they like haven't played a second land. I'm just gonna like play it on life here. It's not instant or sorcery, so they can't counter it. I'm not really sure what they're vialing in here. Oh, Rattle Chain, sure, that's irrelevant. I think I will suspend this bloom. There's like some chance that like they kill blooms. They're definitely going for Stony Silence. They have Stony in hand. There's no way that you would make that play otherwise. They have a non-creature. Oh, they have a Damping Sphere. That's way less scary than a Stony Silence. I think they might just be dead if that's the case. I have to actually do the math, but we'll see. Like on their turn, I can pass to them, and then it's like I can path this Mausoleum Wanderer. Is he gonna play like Jogskull Captain? If so, I need to path this. If not, I don't need to path it. This is the last one, 2 turns. 9, 5. I think I'm okay with letting this resolve, because I have so much mana that I can potentially fight through a Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay, so I'm going to end step path this Queller, I think. If I had done it on my turn there, I wouldn't have been able to replay the Lotus Bloom. It would have cost me mana to play it. Or I will do it in response to this Jogskull Captain. What you got? Do you have another Queller? You have Geist of Saint Traft. Oh, you're just doing that to raise the Mausoleum Wanderer power. Okay, that's fine. Now you're empty-handed. Sacking the Wanderer will not pay for it. Does this Jogskull Captain matter? I don't think it does. I should just win here now, right? Yeah, I just did. I have land, and I have 2 spells. They're completely tapped out. They're going to get lightning stormed. Alright, so we went 3 and 2. Maybe played a little bit badly in game 2 against Grixis Control. I think I played the rest of those pretty well, though. I can't think of too many obvious improvements other than oh no, not against Grixis. Whichever the match was where I could have value Ad Naus and chose not to, and then I think I got something countered. I don't exactly remember. It's late. It's 3 a.m. But in any case, so definitely I'm going to be running a league with the Jace Labman sideboard. And then I'm definitely going to be putting together like the Bant version as well. Stay tuned for more Jace action in Ad Nauseam, and stay tuned for more modern Ad Naus in general. At some point, I'll probably do a video on Legacy Ant as well. So if that's the type of thing you're interested in, feel free to check that out too. Although there is more Legacy Ant content I know already out there than there is modern Ad Naus content, so that's maybe a bit saturated. Okay, well, in any case, take care and goodbye for now.